Oh, Paul fucking Pogba, eh? What an absolute tit. How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Live United tonight. Live rant. Just to talk about Paul Pogba, the absolute Sonic the Hedgehog headed prick. At United at the moment. Of course, he's been over in Tokyo. He's been talking to the press. He's been having his say. He's been making hints, dropping hints left, right, and centre about his future at Manchester United. I personally hope that it's true and he is looking for a new challenge elsewhere. Let me read you the quote. So I've got the quote here. So he said he was basically answering questions in regards to the abuse from United supporters in the stands after the final game of the season in May. And he said after everything that's happened, he is considering a move elsewhere. He goes on to say there's a lot of talk and a lot of thinking to do as well. For me, I have been for 3 years in Manchester and have been doing great. Hang on, can we just stop it for a fucking 1 second right there? Been doing great. Mediocrity at best, pal. Been doing great. Great, what, like Alexander the Great? No! More like one of his chief bloody eunuchs. That's what he's been doing because he's got no bollocks, this man. He goes on to say, some good moments and some bad moments, like everybody, like everywhere else. What the fuck is he supposed to be saying there? Like everywhere else? This isn't everywhere else. This is Man United. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world, whether you like it or not. We are not fucking Everton. We're not Burnley. We're not an everywhere else club. Paul Pogba. So I don't really know what you mean by that. And it doesn't make any sense because do you think Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, do you think they're having some good times and some, they're having mostly good times because they're actually good players and they can actually influence the team? Other than one decent second half performance against Man City years ago and a short spell as a fuck you to Mourinho after Ole Gunnar came in, that's the only time I've ever seen him actually play any bloody football in a red shirt. He's absolutely bang average useless. Let's be honest now. I mean, yes, he's got all the talent in the world. People like to say that, don't they? Paul Pogba, world-class player. Paul Pogba, he's actually only one of United's world-class players. Even though he's shit, he's actually only one of United's only world-class players. What a load of bollocks that is. In that case, Joey Barton's a motherfucking world-class player then. Because I've seen him boss the occasional game once every 3 fucking years or so. Paul Pogba just doesn't do it week in, week out, does he? He's not a David Silva, a Kevin De Bruyne, one of these type guys who's just consistently boss every single game. He has the occasional decent performance when he can be fucking arsed, when he can get his head off of thinking about which shite next haircut to get, when he can get his head off that and focus on football, he feels up for it. But other than that, you know, he's very, very useless. I'm just talking about them from a mentality point of view. Okay, he does have the skills. He does have the abilities in his locker. We've seen what he can do, spreading a 40-yard pass or, 30-yard strike. He's got all the elements that can make up a great footballer, apart from the mental aspect of the game, which is huge, which is freaking huge. I'd go as far as to say Jordan Henderson is a better player than Paul Pogba just because he's mentally very strong. Ability-wise, it's not even close. Pogba's technically much better. But who is going to perform for you more consistently over the course of a season? Well, we know the answer to that because one of them lift the freaking Champions League. The other one is in Tokyo debating whether or not he should be leaving Manchester United. Well, I will make it up for you there, Paul Pogba. I honestly will. Do us all a favour and get on your merry way, son. Go over to Juventus. I'd love it if he went back to Juventus. I'd love it if Real Madrid came knocking. There are options at the moment on the table. This only further cements the possibility that he will be leaving this summer. He should leave this summer. How can you say comments like this? I mean, how much does that undermine Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what he's trying to do at the moment, unless we don't know something that's been said already behind the scenes? If I'm Ole Gunnar now, I am laying the absolute smackdown on Paul Pogba in the dressing room. I am saying, look, this is my opportunity now to say to the board, this man is a poison in the dressing room. This man is not what I want at the club. Let's have a fresh start. Let's change. Let's get rid of this bad apple because he's rotting up the rest of the freaking crop. Let's get rid of him. And I hope that does happen. I hope that we see some sort of a reaction from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I hope that he does dock him wages. Give it to charity, lad. Sack him. But seriously, we should be fining him a couple of weeks' wages for making these comments in public. This is a publicly traded company at the end of the day, and making comments like that only really causes problems behind the scenes for Manchester United, for absolutely everything. This is a commercial enterprise, and he is out there putting United's future in doubt effectively with his comments here. You do that sort of stuff behind the scenes. Whether or not he wants to leave, that's one thing. I can understand why he would want to leave. The fans don't really like him here because of the awful performances out there consistently, the lack of heart and desire. If these United players perform to 100% of their abilities, or not even that, just perform to 100% effort levels, then we would cut them a slack regardless of the result. But the fact is, we see too many prima donnas out there, a la Paul Pogba, a la Labil Pogba out there on the pitch, playing like an absolute static log. I don't understand it. Logba was all over the gaff last season. Apart from that short spell after Ollie, it was a terrible season from him. So, you know, I don't understand why clubs would be queuing up to sign him, because we haven't seen anything from him really in a red shirt. But in a blue shirt or in a white and black shirt, we have seen some great things from him. If we can get £100 million for Paul Pogba from any football club stupid enough in the land to pay it, then we will have done an absolute masterstroke of business. Because not only have we got a poison in the dressing room out of the club and somebody who doesn't fight and show that heart and desire for United. Look at that Cardiff City game come the end of the season. It's a joke of a performance from him. You never see Roy Keane anywhere come near to a shite performance like that where his head's completely gone. So, you know, let's be real now. He's not deserved to be a United player. If Real Madrid, if Juventus wanted to come and get him, please take him off our hands. It has got to that stage now. You know, I was thinking, well, it's probably not realistic we're going to get rid of Paul Pogba this summer because look at the shite transfer business we're doing. We've done nothing. We've done absolutely nothing in the transfer window. So I wasn't expecting us to get rid of Paul Pogba because he is a good talent. He's one of those sorts of brand players, if you want to call it that. Somebody which at the moment United cannot sign. Not because financially we can't do it, but because we can't offer the same things as some of the other top football clubs in the land at the moment in terms of Champions League football and just in terms of being a competitive side. We can't offer that to top players, so we're not even in that market at the moment. We're looking for Harry Maguire and, you know, Wan-Bissaka and people like that, not the absolute top players like Paul Pogba's supposed to be, but isn't. So that's probably, I was thinking we're going to keep hold of him this summer transfer window. I really hope now that this brings the end for Paul Pogba at Manchester United. Sir Alex obviously saw something back in the day, realised he was a bad egg. You know, Rafael da Silva apparently came in for a game from him and played in midfield, and that was the final straw for Paul Pogba. He was like, hang on, no, you're putting Rafael da Silva as a wing-back in ahead of me. I'm not going to get my opportunity. I'm leaving. That just goes to show you the mentality of the lad, really, doesn't it? You're talking about an absolute bottle job. He's not prepared to fight his way into a side. He's not prepared to fight and dislodge Fabio bloody or Rafael da Silva. He's not prepared to dislodge those guys. Well, he's obviously shite then, isn't he? Mentally, he's obviously a bottle job. Okay, he did go on to Juventus and he did do tremendously well. Another thing, the Premier League's just not great for him, I don't think. He's such a dawdler on the ball. He's such a frustrating player on the ball. You see him just dilly and dally on it and give it away and get tackled all over the place every single game. I've never seen the likes of it. Paul Pogba, you know, he's a far cry from Paul Scholes in that sense. He would never give the ball away. Paul Pogba all the time, dawdling on it. And he probably does suit playing in Serie A a lot better. He probably does suit playing in a league where it's not so physical, where it's not so fast, where he's got a bit more time on the ball to show his abilities, because he is a good player. Technically, he's very good. I just don't think he's ever going to be that player for United. He's never going to be that match winner. He's never going to be that leader, because mentally he's a bottle job. He's never going to be that true United legend for us. So cut your losses, do one. The fans are on your back anyway. Totally understand it. Let's broker a deal. Juventus, Real Madrid, whatever it may be. I don't really care. Let's just get rid of him. I know he is a big brand commercially. He's got a lot of followers and all that shite. Who really cares about that stuff? We want to see the performances out there on the football pitch. But from a brand point of view, we don't need these types of players right now. He's not Ronaldo. He's not that good. He's not Beckham. He's not that good. But what did Sir Alex do with Beckham? He got rid of him because he was upsetting the harmony at the club. No one player is bigger than the club. No one player should be bigger than the manager. We saw him get the last laugh in the Mourinho saga. Well, now, hopefully, Ole Gunnar gets the last laugh and we get this man out of the club because he is a toxicity, the likes of which we haven't seen. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I had to get some stuff off my chest there. I've been working all day and I haven't been on a job on it until now to have my say. Well, there it is. Do one, Paul Pogba. See you later on your bike. Au revoir, mon ami. Time to go. Time to say goodbye. If you're in here tuning in right now, do us a favor. Smash a little cheeky like on this video. Get your thoughts and opinions in on Paul Pogba right now. It's United Tonight on the Flying Pig United channel. I know I haven't done one the last couple of nights. This is just I'm going to try and do this as often as I can. Jump on around 10:30 UK time to give you my thoughts and opinions on anything that's happened during the day United-wise. And that's also regardless of whether I've already done a video in that day. So I'll try and jump on here as often as I can. But yeah, do chuck a like on this video. Let me know you're in here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions via the comments section about Paul Pogba at United. I mean, there's so many players I'd much rather have ahead of him. Different types of players, sure, but I mean, come on. Based on his performances over the last season, who would be more effective at Manchester United? Say Paul Pogba or Gylfi Sigurdsson, for instance. Paul Pogba or Kante, for instance, at Chelsea. You know, there's lots of players that can do different things in that midfield who do give you a 7 or 8 out of 10 every single week, who are consistent. You don't see Kante talking about bollocks in the media like this. You don't see him undermining the football club that pay his wages. You don't see him doing that sort of stuff. So, you know, I'd much rather somebody like him. I know Chelsea are never going to get rid of him, but whatever. I would be doing everything in my power to get a player like that, rather than a player like Paul Pogba, who his head is right up his own arse. You know, he believes his own hype, this man. He may be a brand, but what's he a brand for, really? Shite? What's he a brand for, really? Mediocrity? It's no brand I want to be associated with. It's no brand United should be associated with. He's just a bang average player. Yeah, he might have all the ability in the world. Ability means nothing if you cannot translate that out onto the pitch. Ability means nothing if you're a complete mental bottle job. Ability, who cares about ability? It's about action. It's about reaction out there. Didier Drogba, great player, one of the best Premier League players I've ever seen in my life. You know why? Because he was a big game player. He had big cojones on the big occasion. He stepped up. I think he scored 8 goals in 8 finals that he was in, with it domestically within England or something like that. That's incredible. Maybe 10. The guy was just a complete big game player. Paul Pogba, on the other hand, he absolutely melts jobs during the big games. He melts during the small games too, don't get me wrong. But we've not seen enough from Paul Pogba to warrant even tolerating this sort of behaviour. You don't talk to the media and talk about leaving your future, you know, without even consulting the club, without talking behind the scenes first, without actually getting the wheels in motion. You don't talk about that stuff. So he's had an absolute nightmare here. If I didn't like him, and if I didn't dislike him enough already, well, boy, I certainly do now, put it that way anyway. You know, he did have a good spell. He is a decent player, but not good enough anyway. Let me read your comments, everyone tuning in. Thanks very much for stopping by on the channel here. Alex Rudd, how are you doing, my friend? Happy birthday, Alex Rudd. I noticed it was your birthday. Commented on your Instagram post there, mate. Obviously, a top quality subscriber. So everybody wish Alex Rudd happy birthday, because he is a complete legend. And he has super chatted here, commented, Pogba needs a manager like Zidane or Pep. No yes men. Well, I mean, who knows what really Pogba needs? People, you know, he wanted an arm around him at some point. But, I mean, I do think you're talking about 2 of the managers that could actually get the best out of him. Zinedine Zidane, obviously, with that French connection. He knows a lot of Paul Pogba. Over there, I think that would be a very close relationship that they would have. He's also one of the cleverest midfield players of all time, Zinedine Zidane. So he can actually impart real knowledge onto Paul Pogba, whether it be from a technical aspect, but more so from a mental perspective, which is where Paul Pogba seriously lacks, unless it's thinking about the shite haircut to get. He's not really got the mental game to be a United player. Well, maybe Zidane could bring that out of him, but no manager we previously had has been able to do it. Juventus is another option. Thank you very much for your super chat there, Alex. Juventus is another option, because he obviously was tremendously successful when he played for Juventus. That's really where he created himself. That's where this whole mediocre brand came from, was his time at Juventus after United. What he did, he grew into a fantastic Serie A player, and he was absolutely ripping it up. A complete match winner over there for Juventus. They would absolutely relish the opportunity of getting him back there. He just can't do it for us. It's really strange. He can't do it for us in the Premier League. Maybe he could go and play under Pep at City. That's not going to happen. But obviously, maybe what you're saying, Pep could bring the best out of him. It's possible. People argue and say that if he had better players around him, then he would be better. Well, yes, that's also true of me and Luke Chadwick. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the better players you've got around you, the more intelligent players, the better you are going to play as well. I mean, obviously, that's the same applies to Jack Grealish or anybody. Stick Jack Grealish in the World 11, he'll probably fit in pretty decent. I don't know. I don't think he's going to stick out like a sore thumb if he had, say, Xavi and Iniesta just teeing him up every time. Anyway, and Jack Grealish is a decent player. I'm not rinsing. But anyway, yeah, nice to see a lot of love for Alex Rudd in the comment section here. Happy birthday to you once again, mate. Always a good supporter and commenter and contributor to this channel. So more than happy to wish you many happy returns. I hope you are not already too wasted, but of course it is your birthday. So although we're getting a bit old now, Alex, aren't we really? What are you doing, Alex, anyway, for your birthday? Do get it in the comment section. I'd love to see. Mumble Sports says, who else wears a winter hat indoors? Piggy is a ledge. I know it's freaking June. Do you know what, though? It is actually necessary, or not necessary, but it's more of a statement than anything. But really, it is actually freezing cold in England at the moment. It's the middle of summer. It's June, and it is pissing it down with wind and rain, and it is definitely not very nice out there. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people commenting and tuning in on this live stream. So thanks very much for stopping by. I had to get my thoughts about Pogba off my chest. I've just had enough of this predicament we've got. No one player is bigger than the club. I don't care how big a brand he is or how many Twitter followers and Instagram followers he has. I don't give a toss about any of that. He's shite. Yeah, that's the bottom line. If Juventus are big enough mugs that they want to come and take him off our hands, please. If Real Madrid, if Zidane wants to be a complete freaking monk and make the move for Paul Pogba, do it. Please do it, Zidane. I would love to see it. And I don't even need we don't even need 100 million for him. We paid 89 million for him. Just give us what we paid for him. I'd be more than happy with that. In fact, I would take a big loss. I know commercially he does bring a lot in terms of finances to a club just because of the branding, how many people follow him, the influence he can have on social media and buying trends and all this type of stuff. It is obviously a factor. That's probably why he's still here, because Ed Woodward probably loves him. Ed Woodward probably shines him every single night, behind the scenes, because of course he's obviously reaping the benefits of having Paul Pogba at the club. He's followed by a huge amount of people all across the globe. Oh, Forever Red 97 says, how are you doing, Pig? I am doing a bit better now. I've managed to release some of this Paul Pogba tension. I'll be feeling a heck of a lot better once he's actually walked the plank and left United and hopefully gone to a different league. Of course, I'm talking about Serie A or La Liga. Those are the two likely options. Real Madrid and Juventus. They would be in the driving seat in terms of signing Paul Pogba. They can perhaps afford it. He's obviously been at Juventus before. He was successful there. He probably had a great time. The fans loved him, etc. And Real Madrid going to work with Zidane, a compatriot of his, which I'm sure he's grew up watching, and also play with a fantastic team over there and win things and challenge for things. We are not in the Champions League right now. Is it a case of he just thinks he's Billy Big Bollocks, too big for the club? He wants to be playing in the Champions League, and we cannot afford him that right now. So what he has to do is go somewhere else. Fair enough, you do see that happen with a lot of footballers. But in the case of Paul Pogba, I just think that he's not man enough for the challenge. Robert Perez has come out in the media this week, and he said what he thinks Paul Pogba should do is go back to United this summer, knuckle down, play hard, and improve next season. Do better next season and fight and show the world what sort of a player that you are. But I tell you something, Robert Perez, my friend, not my friend, but, Frenchman, whatever, is that Paul Pogba, I don't think, possesses the mental aspect of the game to be able to do that, to be able to come back to United and be that quality player. Do you remember when Ronaldo, for instance, or David Beckham, do you remember when David Beckham got sent off? You probably don't if you're a whippersnapper, but in the 1998 World Cup, he got sent off when he just flicked out Diego Simeone, and he got a red, and everybody absolutely hated him in the country. A lot of United fans, a lot of every single neutral fan, they were literally burning effigies of David Beckham because it was basically down to him. Well, not really down to him, but also largely down to him that we didn't progress against Argentina in that World Cup in 98, and he came back to an absolute backlash. What did he do? His cojones grew. He stepped up. He silenced them. He silenced the opposition fans. He silenced everybody with his free kicks, with his quality play. He silenced them. Cristiano Ronaldo, the incident with Wayne Rooney, where he got Wayne Rooney sent off in the Euros, or was it the World Cup? One of those, 2004 or 2006. I get them mixed up because we played them in both of those. But one of those games, Ronaldo got Rooney sent off effectively. Remember the whole Winkgate incident? Well, Ronaldo came back and he was better than ever. And I know it's a different incident, because Paul Pogba, his is based on awful performances over an extended amount of time, and these guys' hatred from the fans was based on just a one-off incident which incited the nation. Those are different scenarios, I agree, but he surely has to show more bottle than he has done up to this point. And if he was going to be that player, he would have probably been that player by now, because like he said himself, he's been here for 3 years. Some good, bad times, some bad times, some good times. What a load of shite that is. Mostly bad times. Who are you kidding? Just because you banged in 10 penalties, lad, and your stats look respectable, as anybody would do if you gave them the amount of appearances that United have given him in the Premier League for Manchester United. Let's not forget we are one of the top sides in the league. Even though we are shit at the moment by our own high standards and finished sixth, the squad is still good. Put me in there, I'm going to pop up with an assist and score penalties for fun. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? I might not get the stats that Paul Pogba did, but what I'm saying is it's a special team. We've got a good team. If you slot any top player into a good team, they're going to do respectably, especially if we allow them to take every single spot kick. Oh. Anyway, guys, I'm pretty much going to wrap this one up. I do really appreciate everybody who's tuning in right now. I will just read a few more comments out, actually, before I go. But the whole point of this United Tonight program, if that's what you want to call it, is just a sort of 20-minute bite-sized breakdown of what's gone on with United in the day. Obviously, what's gone on with United today is Paul Pogba's been flapping his lips in the media, and he's made it apparently he's looking for a new challenge. Praise the Lord, that's what I say, because I hope he does leave Man United. He's not lived up to it. He's not done the business for us. He's looked like a static piece of bark out there on the pitch, log burring it up. For too often now. He's paid a fortune. He's worth a fortune, apparently. Let's cash in and reinvest that in some players who are not complete bottle jobs, who do have a bit more mental stability, who don't have the lack of class and the lack of nous to put winking pictures on Instagram when Jose Mourinho's got the sack, or talk to the Japanese media about wanting a new challenge and leaving Manchester United, even though we are a publicly traded company, all that sort of stuff. What an absolute tithead. Anyway, everybody who's tuning in right now, thanks for stopping by. Do us a favor, smash a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. I'm going to read out a couple more comments before I go. Screen Stars comments, Real Madrid fans would boo Pogba within 3 months and he will start crying to his agent again. You're probably right. He's probably best suited to go into Juventus. It's a slower paced league. That suits him. More time on the ball, less physicality, more opportunity to look like a good player when in fact you are actually bang dog average. But yeah, you're right, Real Madrid fans. Crikey. If he even performed to half of the shite level that he has done at United for Real Madrid, they'd be absolutely burning effigies on the streets and completely be on his case. Look at how they are with Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale's actually done pretty good over his career at Real Madrid. Let's be honest now, some big moments. That crazy overhead kick, Champions League, final winning goal. All sorts of stuff Gareth Bale's done for Real Madrid, but they still hate him. Pogba would absolutely be hated by Real Madrid fans if he put up any sort of a run of performances like he's shown for United consistently over the 3 years. I agree with you. His best option is probably to go play with Cristiano Ronaldo over in Juventus, because he's always going to make you look good. Ronaldo make any team look good. He's won the bloody European Championships with Portugal, one of the shittest Portugal sides there have ever been as well. I know he got injured in the final and they obviously did show heart there, but it was his performances dragging them there in the first place that did it. He's done that time and time again, Ronaldo. He lead from the front. Look at Real Madrid after Ronaldo gone. They're a shambles. Ronaldo would make Pogba look good. That's a fact. All Pogba's got to do is kick the ball roughly in Ronaldo's direction, and it's a goal. Anyway, guys, that's me done for the night. Thanks for stopping by on United Tonight. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video. Lewis Clark, Richard James, Alex Rudd, happy birthday to you. Cher Myers, The Primo, Gaz Newton, Northern Nightmare, absolute legend. Thanks so much for stopping by and getting your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Heiko, Firestorm Tiger, OTB, few late shout outs for you boys and girls here. Like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Mr. Flying Pig HD. I'll leave you with this. Paul Pogba, fuck off, lad. Leave United, get on your bike. Let's see somebody else come in with the money that we could get for him. Let's sign some quality with some actual cojones, not just another melter prima donna who's this mediocre brand that everyone seems to care about for some reason. The only brand I care about is toughness, mental toughness and quality and effort out there on the pitch for United. You're a disgrace, Paul. You've been awful for United. Sir Alex Ferguson was right. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Have yourselves a good one. There'll be a video coming on the channel tomorrow morning, bit of a different video, just like unboxing a sticker book and stuff like that. So keep a lookout for that. I'll see you soon. This is the Flying Pig. Take it easy. Have yourselves a good one. See you later, Paul Pogba. No one gives a shit about ya. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, nah, nah.